Let me tell you a story. A story of two people living very normal lives. They both worked hard, day in, day out. They had regular hobbies, which they pursued to the fullest. Yet something was missing. We all have dreams. Daring to dream is the very thing that makes us human. Yet for many of us, our wildest dreams exist in a place far removed from our reality. Finding the courage to step out onto the ledge where adventure begins. This is where we're truly alive. This is the story of Kadoha.
Hold on. That's better. Mads tried to warn me. Mads once sent me a message about a Trident Warrior 38 tugging on the threads. Beware the threads you tug. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. For those of you who don't know Mads, he is a Trident Warrior legend. He has the amazing channel and frankly the amazing resource that is Sail Life. I'll pop a link in the description. Go check the guy out. He is awesome. He is testament to the fact that a little bit of sanding and painting can rapidly turn into something so much more, and that is exactly what happened with this project. What started off as some light sanding and maybe a little bit of redecoration to the nav station turned into maybe wanting to conceal some of the wires that were going across the bulkhead, which turned into maybe we need to change the navigation instruments, which you'll see. You'll see. Changing the navigation instruments on our 38-year-old sailing boat, roll camera. So our old instrument display was this kind of retrofitted thing, which a couple of things used to happen. In a sudden jolting movement, you might instinctively go and grab hold of it, and it would come off. That happened on more than one occasion. It was kind of like an afterthought, I think, whoever put it on, and it went in here, but I guess you could have fitted it properly or refitted it, but it also used to the angle that we wanted the bimini at. This used to sort of punch into, actually used to pull tight into this, and it creased and left horrible marks on the spray hood even. So in the end, and it was hit and miss whether these instruments would work, and there was all sorts of water and corrosion along the back, as well as, I just hated the fact that all the wires went across the bulkhead, and it was all retrofitted, and now it's gone. Now it's gone, and all the wiring is going to be hidden away. The last of the instrument installation is about to take place. Frank's just making all the necessary adjustments. Cheers, Frank. And we're going to experiment.
Do you address to the left or to the right?
We're going to experiment with dragging my somewhat heavy backside up with the anchor windlass and see how that goes.
I'm at the ready. I hope this is going to make my life a lot easier than doing it all by hand. Just in case.
Got a couple of tricky things to sort out. The first one is this. So here we have the VHF antenna, and I need to move that from here. I need to pop that over here. But then I need to put the new Windex here, but we've got this lip, so I'm going to have to fashion something that is going to act as like a spacer. So we've got a flush surface here to mount that on, reposition the VHF, but also I've got to get these screws out, which seem to be somewhat stubborn. They've probably been there 40 years nearly and never been moved. So and then this needs sorting out, and just a few little bits up here, a little bit of maintenance, a bit of housekeeping. I have my trusty bucket of goodies, all the tools I think I'm going to need. Alright, let's get to it. Somebody did actually message us a while back, or me, to ask if I could help do some work at the top of their mast electrically, go on top of them, as in get over the top of the mast. And at the time I was like, no way, I can just about hold a screwdriver without shaking when I'm up here. but it seems to be improving. Try and get comfy. Everything is aching. It's been a couple of hours so far. I'm guessing that wasn't meant to come out like that. I'm even going to change this. I'm just going to change this aerial because this aerial's been really sketchy. People have been saying they can't. Our AIS is intermittent, and I think it's time for a new aerial. Yeah, that's the one. Golly, gonna come down now. So now we've paved the way at the top of the mast to put the new instruments in. We've got an idea of some of the changes we want to make, having looked at it, and some modifications we're going to need to make in order to actually fit the instruments up there. It's time to start paving the way down below for where the wiring's actually going to go. How are we going to put the new navigation instruments in and hide all the wiring? I don't want to see anything. No wires. Zip. Zero. Nilch. Nada. Let's get to it. We've drilled a hole now through the floor, which always feels a bit concerning because the floor's forever got water on it, so really want to make sure that that's not going to seep through into the core. And now we have drilled the hole. The core looks, if you can really see it here, it actually looks quite nice. It's not wet. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to put some hose down through there. I'm going to seal the hose in so that then when we cover it back over, so the wires are going to come through the hose, and that will protect the core even more. So now we've got that hose in, need to do some work repairing around here just to make sure again we get a nice clean surface and a good connection when we seal this up. The wire is going to be fed through here, up, and hopefully pop out of the top here where I've just put a little dollop of this stuff, Tough Cut, which is going to make life hopefully a bit easier cutting through the stainless steel. Okay, now we've got the hole made, time to smooth out the edges so we don't cut up the wire. Once more, the realities of boat life. When you're installing anything, when you're repairing anything, when you're even thinking about changing something, all hell breaks loose. If I had to name this wiring project after a movie, that movie would be called The Never-Ending Story. Okay, so tracing the wires from the helm down through the handy holdy thing, I'm sure there's a nautical term for that, but down through the handy holdy thing, and then it's all fed so the wires are invisible, and then the Windex cable is this one here. Cunningly labelled. Instructions, it's this one here. Now having wired this little puppy up, let's see how she goes. Nothing's happening, I guess that's good. Basic operation. Okay. It will flash into... Aha! Alright, let's test out the heads-up display. Windy, it's a little bit rainy, not much sun out, but it is the moment of truth, and it is one of my only days off. It's a Sunday, so I don't get to pick and choose when I do these jobs. Alright, anyway, the moment of truth. Let's see how she goes. We are travelling at 1.1 knots, apparently. Might be the tide. We have 2.8 metres underneath us, and there's a little bit of wind blowing. Not a great deal. Oh, that's because the cups aren't moving, that's why. Hold on. Hither. We have wind! It's hard to say just how pleased I am with myself right now that has all basically worked pretty much first time. And so now that I'm happy with all the wiring, I'm going to waterproof everything and, as I say, get all the wires finished up. Well, the next thing I've got to try and figure out is how am I going to attach this to this without spending hundreds of pounds on marine specific holders. It's a good start. It's a great start. Haha! I'm not going anywhere, it's just cold. So we're trying to figure out a way basically to get this on here, and I haven't entirely worked it out yet.
They're rather large.
They are quite large, but it was difficult to find. Like, these weren't that expensive. These were like 10 quid or something off of Amazon. Anyone's interested in these, I'll link in the description. But yeah, something like this. But we still wanted the ability to sort of move it and change the angle, didn't we? So, right, well let's dry fit it first, because I don't want to go drilling holes in it if you're going to screw your face up like every time you look at it. For anyone who obviously, because Carly's holding the camera, couldn't see the face she did when I showed the idea was like.
We don't need it to move.
Well, you
just want it at an angle.
Okay, but what I'm saying is you might have the sun reflecting at a certain angle, so you think, oh, I'll just tweak it. Or you might want to sit down and drive like this and be like, oh, I'll just
drive.
Bring it down. Yeah, just hook a right. Oh. So after a healthy amount of deliberation and trying out a whole bunch of different options, this is what we actually settled on. We decided to go for just one of the fittings, and that seemed to be plenty strong enough to hold this in place. And we popped it in centrally, and that enabled us to put the nav instruments nice and flush. We can rotate them still, which, you know, Carly doesn't necessarily love, but I quite do. So this is a compromise between looking good and being practical. So Carly and I have met in the middle. Now we've laid all the infrastructure down here, all the systems are working as they should, everything's communicating with one another. It's time to head back up the mast and get everything secured in place. Okay, this one. Please do not be blocked up. You are blocked up, aren't you? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Durac. First one in the hole. Okay, that's for sure. Yes. Good. Now, whilst up the mast, you obviously saw that the VHF wire is something we decided to change. Luckily, Carly was more than happy to go up the mast herself to try and tackle this job, and I was more than happy to be the one hoisting for a change.
This is the old wire, this is the new wire, and I've just tried to do a bit of whipping through it, and I'm going to tape it up. And then hopefully, this will tuck to my jacket here, all of this wire is going to be fed down the mast, all the way down there.
Now, just hope it doesn't get caught on anything at all in the mast, because we'll be in quite the predicament if that happens. I wonder if that was the problem.
So why did you say that you found the problem?
I think this might have had something to do with our intermittent AIS
Wowzers.
and terrible reception.
Look at that.
So hopefully that's it anyway. I mean, it doesn't look healthy.
No,
Good job we put a new wire in.
absolutely.
Say again, Foxtrot 09, and that'll be starboard side 2 if you choose to go bows in. Over.
Look at that
Well,
smile.
I guess you're leaving the marina now, over.
It's amazing. I can hear every word.
It makes such a difference.
That's how it's meant to. All this time, I just thought, you know, my hearing's terrible. I just struggle to hear over a VHF. But, oh, that's amazing.
Right, bows to village, come back soon. Bows to village now.
I can hear everything. And the remaining wires that absolutely had to go across the bulkhead here, because they live up here, they were hidden in this really cool conduit, which was fashioned by Ned from Redmouth Marine, which doubles up, you know, rather than just having a big bit of odd looking wood there, you've got a red light for the night and you've got a white light for the day, and you have them both on at the same time if you're feeling fruity. And yeah, a little bit of conduit continued up there, and there you go. That is, I've made them as neat as I possibly can, neat enough that I'm happy with them anyway. So there we are, and this is, I say nav station, it's the video editing station, and I don't know, I love this thing. Thanks, Frankie. I'll just keep touching it. And here it is in all its glory, the new nav instruments. So we've got obviously wind speed and depth all right where you stand. No wires anywhere. Really happy about that. This hyper expensive bit of plastic Carly loves. It just mounts the iPod. It seems like a ludicrous amount of money to me. It comes in 3 parts, but she loves it. We even popped a brand new compass in because our old one wasn't working anymore. So there we go. That is that project finished. Guys, thank you very much for taking the time to hang out with us. I know that in the era we live in, everyone and everything is vying for your attention. So, you know, the fact that you guys choose to come and hang out with us for 15 minutes, it's really cool. It's really awesome. So thank you very much. If you're new here and you haven't done so already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you've gone to the trouble to hit that, you have to, you know, not forget the notifications bell. One without the other, you know, it's like chips without ketchup. It's no bueno. Unless you're a mayo kind of dipper. That works. I'm into that too. If you'd like to know more about us, then there's a couple of options. You can check out our website, which is cadoa.com. Link is in the description. And also, we get to know the people that support us directly a little bit deeper, and that's our Patreons, the legends, the heroes that have made so much possible that perhaps wouldn't have been previously. And thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts. It means the world to us, and I really hope you get something extra for taking the time to support us. If you want to know more about that, again, links in the description. And if you want to support us too, we will love you forever. That'd be brilliant. But you know, if it's something you can't do, don't worry about it. Just drop in, say hi. Just hanging out with us is super cool as well. Right, I hope you guys are staying safe and well, dodging the Delta variant, and we will see you soon. Bye for now. And here it is in all its glory, the new nav instruments. So we've got obviously wind speed and depth all right where you stand. No wires anywhere. Really happy about that. This hyper expensive bit of plastic Carly loves. It just mounts the iPod. It seems like a ludicrous amount of money to me. It comes in 3 parts, but she loves it. Carly's happy, I'm happy.